Hello and welcome to SeedProd. Today we're going to look at an overview of the new theme builder feature. And currently I have a default installation of SeedProd and I've created 3 different blog posts here, blog post 1, 2, and 3. Each one has a title, an image, some text in the content area, a category, and 3 tags applied to them. I also have 3 different pages that I added here, and none of these have any content on them. They're just default pages that we can use. And then I created a menu under the appearance in WordPress. Other than that, I just have a clean install. I've done nothing else so far with WordPress. Let's go ahead and install SeedProd on the left-hand side, plugins, add new, and let's go to upload plugin. Here, let's choose the file. And this is the version that I'm using for this example today. Let's go ahead and click on install now. Next, let's activate the plugin. And SeedProd's going to ask you for a license key. Let's go ahead and paste that in and click verify key. If everything was a success, you'll see a green success message here. Great, now you'll see SeedProd in the menu on the left-hand side. And we have a new feature here under theme builder. Let's go ahead and click on that. And now we'll see the theme templates. And this is where we can create fully customized WordPress themes from scratch with the SeedProd visual page builder. So the first thing we're going to look at is the pre-made themes. So this is the easiest and quickest way to get started. So let's click on pre-made themes. And here we have a starter theme that we can use. Let's go ahead and click on this. This will automatically import all of the different page templates and parts, the footer, and the header. Now to enable this theme, we have to make sure that this is enabled over here. If you're just working on your website and it's not ready yet, then you want to leave this unchecked, and this will leave your current website alone until your website is completely finished. So since I'm working on a clean version of WordPress, I'm going to click this to enable the SeedProd theme and come back here and refresh the page. Here you'll see the starter theme that we just enabled and imported into our website. So now if we come back, we can see all of the pages and the parts, the footer and the header. So these are the main parts of every website and every theme that you'll create inside of the theme builder. So here at the top, we can see that we have a header. So if we come back, we can see our header file right here. Next, we can click on Edit Design, and this will take us to the SeedProd page builder. So here on the right side, we have all of the drag and drop sections that we can import blocks from the left-hand side. So for example, if we want to add a headline or text or videos, we just drag these blocks in here, and this will now appear into our page. After we're done editing the header or any of the other template parts, we can click on save. And then if I update our website, you can see that this has been added into our header all across the website. Now, if I close this and come back, you can see that there's also the edit conditions. Let's go ahead and click on this. And here it'll show the conditions part. And we have this included on the entire website. We can change this to be included only on specific parts. So for example, if you only want this specific header to show on all of your blog pages or only on your front page, you can select that. So that means that you can actually have a different header for every single part of your website if you wished. Now this is the same process for your footer, and then you have your home page, your single pages, your posts, and your blog index. You have all of the main pieces of a website built in right here. So for example, the starter theme comes with this pre-made blog section, and you can see the 3 different posts that I have on my website. You'll notice that it has a sidebar here as well, and this is called a part. Right here, if we come down, you'll see sidebar, the type, and this is a part. And parts are used as specific sections that you can import into a specific theme template. So for example, here's our blog index, which is this page right here. So if I click on this to edit it, you'll see that we have a sidebar here inside of our actual template. So if I click on the block settings, you'll see that this is the template part block. So let's, for example, delete this for a moment and say that we don't have a sidebar yet. So if we come back to our blocks, we can select the template part, add that in here, click on block settings, and then select the part that we want. So sidebar. And it's as easy as that. You would just create this sidebar part separately as a template, and then you would import it wherever you want on your website. Let's go ahead and save that. And if we update, you'll see that that sidebar is still there. Let's go ahead and close this. I think a better way to apply some of these ideas would be to create a theme from scratch. So let's go ahead and do that. Just a quick, simple theme. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of these files. Great. So now if we refresh our page, you can see that we'll get this error that there's no header template, no page template, and no footer template. So I'm going to come back and let's go ahead and create a new theme template. Let's call this header, and it's going to ask for the type. So here we can select header as the type. You can also see that there's footer, single post, page, archive, a search results page, the global part. So for example, the sidebar that we just looked at, and a custom page. Next, we have the priority. So I'm just going to set this as 10. And now this would be used if you have multiple headers or multiple of the same template. So I could create a second header and give it a priority of 11, and that one would be the one that would show over this. And then I could just easily change the numbers here and save to switch between those different parts. Next, we have the conditions down here. So this is to include or exclude. We want to include this on the entire website. Let's go ahead and save this. And next we're going to see the SeedProd page builder here. So on the right hand side, we can design our layout. We can do, for example, a 3-column layout, and we can put our logo, maybe a menu in here, and then a call to action button. To save a little bit of time, I'm going to remove this. And on the left hand side, we're going to go to sections. And here, these are pre-made sections that you can import into your website. I'm just going to click on header. And now we have 3 different options here. I'm just going to go ahead and select one of these, and this will be imported into our page. Next, you would update the content. So for example, your logo, just delete this one and upload your own custom logo. Here we have our links for our menu. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete this block, and let's search for the menu block because I've already created a menu, and let's just drop that in here. So this is our primary menu that we created under the WordPress settings in the appearance menu section. Next, let's go ahead and select this, and I'm just going to center this menu right in the middle of the page. I also want everything to be online here. So I'm just going to select each column, and we have a vertical alignment here. So I'm just going to select that for each one here. And you can see that these are going to line up perfectly center vertically as well. On this button, we have a call to action. So we could say something like join now, and then we can save this. You can completely customize this and add any of the content that you want for your blocks. So you can add more buttons, video, social profiles, and icons, anything you wish you can add into here. So let's go ahead and save this, and then let's go ahead and actually publish this as well. And then we can close this and close the X, and we can see our header is here. So if we refresh, now we can see we have a custom header that we designed inside of the SeedProd page builder. However, for our front page, we have no page template found and no footer. So we would just go through and do the exact same thing. So let's go ahead and add a new template. This time, let's just make a quick footer. So I'll just call this footer, give it a priority. We want this included on the whole website, and we'll save. Here, I'll just select the footer sections, and we'll just import a quick one here. And there we go. We have this footer imported. Now you'll see that the fonts are different. So you'd go through and edit this. For this example, I'm not going to do that. So you're going to see a little inconsistency in this example. Let's go ahead and save this and publish the footer as well. And now we can see on our live page that we have a header and we have our custom footer. Next, we need a page template. Now, this is our front page, so we can create a custom front page. You can also create custom pages for our features, about, and contact. And if we click on one of these, you'll actually see that by default, it already has the header and footer on these pages because we applied those to all pages. So let's come back here and create a new theme template. And let's just call this front or front page or main page, whatever you wish. And then under type, we want to select a custom page. And under here, let's go to conditions and add. We want to include this, but we only want it for the front page. We don't want this for the entire website. Let's go ahead and save this. And now by default, because it's our front page, you can see the header and the footer that we use on all pages inside of the theme builder. So let's go ahead down here and create a new section. I want 2 columns. Let's do this. And I think I want my blog posts on the left, and I want some type of sidebar on the right. Let's go ahead back to our blocks. And we have these template tags that we can use. And this is where it gets fun and flexible and interesting with the theme builder. So here we have a post template tag. So if I drag this in here, this will automatically bring in my current posts into the page. Let's go ahead and look at the block settings here. And there are a ton of options to look at here for the post query, as well as defining the design of these posts. So under the settings, we have the query type. We have the default. So this is ordered in a descending order. So newest post first, and then you can change the layout and all the options. You also have a custom and you have a manual. So you can actually write out the query params yourself if you know how to do that. And you can check out the WordPress documentation if you need more information on this. Let's go back to custom. And here, let's go through the options quickly. So we want to select the post types that are called posts. We can also query by category. So if we only want, for example, posts that include dogs, this one includes a dog, so we could just show that one. Same thing with tags. If we include this, say we only want ones that have black labs in them. This is one with a dog with a black lab. Let's turn that off for now. Same by author, so you could create author pages if you like. And next, let's go through and order by date. This is what I want to use. You can also do last modified by the title, comment, count, or menu order. Now, right now, this is showing ascending, which is oldest first. I actually want to change this to descending. So blog post 3 is actually my newest post. And then we have the layout. So right now I have one column after the other. You could change this to say 2 or even 3 if you wish, or more, whatever looks good for your design. And you can add pagination. So right now I only have 3 posts. But if we turn this on, you can see it says how many per page. So if I change this to example for 1 blog post per page, you can see that I now have pagination here. I'm just going to change that back to 10, and I'm going to turn off the pagination for this example. We also have the show featured image. So if I click here, you can now see all of the featured images for the blog posts that are showed up here. Down here, we have the title tag, and this is the HTML semantic for the headings. So right now these are H4s. I'm going to change these to H1s, and you can see there are a little bit of default stylings attached to that. Under here we have the show meta. So here this is all of the information about your post, such as your date, the author name, the last modified, the time, and the comment count. I'm going to turn all of this off for now, but you can change those and customize those. Down here we have the excerpt. This is the text underneath the post, so you can see that. And I'm going to turn that back on and actually increase this a little bit. So I'll put up to 50 words here. We also have the show read more, so you can turn that on and off. That's the little link here that will go to the post, and you can customize the actual text to something else if you like. Let's come back up to the top, and under the advanced tab, we have tons of options to design our posts here. So let's go under post, and here's some post padding. So for example, if you wanted 50 pixels on each side, you can see that gives quite a bit of spacing on each post. I might actually bring that down a little bit to say 25. We have the post background, so you can change this to any color you wish. I might just, for this example, go for a light gray color. And then next we have text. Here we have the title typography, so you could change all of the font options here. So the font size, the height, the letter spacing, the styling, alignment, all of those options are available to you. We have the title color. So this is a link, so I might actually change this to, for example, this blue color like the button, or maybe the red or orange here. We have the meta text color, but we turn that off. We have the excerpt color. So this is the text underneath the blog post, maybe a gray color, maybe something that's not totally black. And then we can come down to the read more. Maybe I'll change this to a dark black, or maybe even the same blue color here. And you have the options for the pagination. Next, we have the image. So here you can add a shadow if you wish. So for example, medium, or maybe an extra large, or whatever you wish. I'll leave it on extra large. We also have border radius. So if I add, for example, 10 pixels, you can see that the corners are now rounded a bit. The more you increase that, the more that it's going to be rounded. I think 10 looks fine for this example. We also have the border style. So you can add a solid, dotted, or dashed border, and you can change the color. So let's go with blue and maybe add a 1 pixel, and you can see that around there. I think maybe actually like some type of white or a light gray would look good. You also have the image white space padding, so you can include some of that. I'm going to leave that off. And next we have the border. So this is the border for the actual post itself. So we have the border radius. You can see that that changes the corners, same as the images a little bit. So let's match that and put 10. And it'll be the same as your images. You can also add a border color as well here. So maybe you want to put a darker gray on the outskirts here, or find a color that matches that just slightly. You also have the post padding, which we already set to 25. Next up, we have the spacing for the margins and the paddings for the posts. We have the attributes, so you can add a CSS ID, a custom class, and then the device visibility to turn or hide on desktop or mobile. So there you go. We've just customized our posts. Of course, you could spend more time on this to make it look a little bit better, or however you wish. And you could keep adding content to your page. So you could add more content to the footer, or you could add a sidebar here. So I think we should go ahead and do that. But first, let's go ahead and save this. And I'm going to go ahead and publish this. Now, again, you wouldn't publish this right away on an active website. You would want to make sure that all of these pages are done. And then you'd want to enable the SeedProd theme after your page is completely finished. Let's go ahead and add one more. We'll do this and we'll call it a sidebar, and the type we'll add as a global part. And let's go ahead and save this. So here we want to create a sidebar. So I'm just going to add something quick. We'll do one column, and we'll go to our blocks. We'll add a headline here. We'll just change this to say something like follow us, and we'll put some social media icons here. So there we go. Something simple. Again, you can keep adding more content, whatever you want in your sidebar. I'm going to go ahead and save this and publish it. And let's come back here and let's just check out what our front page looks like now. There, we can see our header. We see our blog post here that we put in. And we see our footer. Now there's a lot of space here. This is just the design that was pre-made. We can get rid of that easily if we wanted to. So let's go ahead and add our sidebar in here. So we'll come back. We want to edit our front page design. So let's click on this, and we have this column on the right side. Let's grab the template parts and drop that in here. Next, let's click on the block settings and we want to select the sidebar template that we just created. And there you go. You can see the content that was created in that specific part. Let's go ahead and save this and refresh our page. And now you should see a sidebar on your front page. All right, let's do one more example theme. And I just want to show you the post. So if we click on here, you'll see that no post is found. You can't see any of the content. So let's go ahead and we'll come back to our theme templates. Let's add one more theme. We'll call this, say, posts or main posts or whatever you wish. And this is going to be for a single post. And you can add the conditions, and we want to include this for all posts. So that's already done for us. And then we can click on save. Again, we just want to add our layout here. So let's do maybe 2 columns again. So on that right side, we already know that we want to use a template part, and I'm going to use that same sidebar. So that saves us some time. You can see how the dynamic feature of this will save you time by creating parts to use in multiple places all over your themes. Next, let's go ahead and create our post. So we can use these template tags dynamically. So let's select, for example, post title to show at the top. And then next we could maybe show our post info. And now this will be, for example, the author, the date, the time, and the comments. We can click on this and maybe we can center this, change the space between. We can get rid of that divider. You can change that to whatever you wish. You can also hide some of these options if you don't want to show them. For example, the time, maybe I'll delete that. And under typography, I might change the font size to be just a little bit smaller here. Great, let's come back to our blocks. Next, I want to show the featured image. Let's put that right underneath here. And I'm going to click on this, the block settings. Let's go under percentage here, and I'm going to change that to 100. So it's going to be the full width of the column here. Next, let's come back down to our blocks, and we can do the post content. We'll drop that in. This is all of the text in the post that I added earlier. And at the very bottom, I think maybe we'll add the post navigation. So this will show the previous or the next post based on which post it is. And this has some options here as well. I'm just going to keep this simple. Again, you can customize all of the colors and what everything looks like. I'm just keeping this as simple as possible so you see the functionality. Let's go ahead and publish this and see the live page. So this is our front page. And now if we click on a post, you'll see the actual blog post itself that we just created with the title, the metadata, the image, the post, and then our navigation, which goes to the previous post. And there you go. Even though we didn't create the most beautiful website in the world, you should have a good understanding of the basics of how the theme builder works in SeedProd.